How's it going, everybody? We are going to take a quick look at the Whisker Biscuit Sure Shot Pro by Trophy Ridge. Now, the Whisker Biscuit is, without a doubt, the world's most famous arrow rest. Anybody who is into bow hunting or really into archery at all has probably heard of this or probably even used it at some point. It actually states right here on the packaging that it's the world's most used arrow rest. I agree with that completely. I mean, honestly, out of 10 bows that we sell set up that come out of here, 5 of them at least have a Whisker Biscuit of some sort on it. But with that said, like I said, this is the Sure Shot Pro. It is the higher end Whisker Biscuit, so let me bust into it here and we'll talk about it. Okay, first, to know why this Whisker Biscuit demands the higher end price tag and what makes it special compared to the rest, it's important to know the differences between it and the rest of them. So briefly, I would like to mention that these are the Quick Shot Whisker Biscuits. This is the base model Whisker Biscuit. There's two designs of them. This is the original, the Quick Shot. This was their original first Whisker Biscuit. They came out with this way back when the Whisker Biscuit first came out, and this was the first one to actually hit the market. It's all aluminum. The way the bracket's designed, you can actually tweak the bracket and get some elevation adjustments out of it, and you can slide the bracket left and right on this bar, and that's how you handle windage. But all in all, pretty basic, but that was the first one. Later, they came out with another Quick Shot, kind of a modernized version of it, and still an aluminum bracket, but now the encasing itself is composite. You do have two little rubber boots here, so when you put your arrow in, it keeps down any kind of clinking noise. And you have windage adjustment, but no elevation adjustment. There's actually no elevation adjustment on this Quick Shot, but those are the two Quick Shot Whisker Biscuits on the base side of the Whisker Biscuit. This is the Kill Shot Whisker Biscuit. So now we've got an elevation adjustment, which is a big deal on it. That's why this one's a step up. And you still have the windage adjustment. We still have an aluminum bracket, but the encasing itself still composite, but they made it, according to the packaging, 150% stronger in comparison to the Quick Shot, and it really shows. Like, I mean, it definitely feels stronger and more durable. So still got the rubber bootings. The overall how they work is still exactly the same, but with more adjustment as far as elevation goes. So that's the Kill Shot. And then we get to the Sure Shot Pro, which is top of the ladder, like I was saying. And just by comparing them, obviously we have significantly more elevation adjustment, which really helps. I mean, it depends on the shooter and what you need, but if tuning something that's in your future, this kind of thing makes it a lot easier. It makes it worth the money for sure. So you've got tons of elevation adjustment and windage adjustment, plenty of it. The entire thing is aluminum again, so according to the packaging, the number is 300% stronger. We all know aluminum's tough, so it's obviously significantly stronger. And I don't honestly think any of the Whisker Biscuits would break from anything outside of like running over it with a car or something, but this one would hold up to the test longer. Still got rubber boots on the edge to keep down sound. Now, the way the Whisker Biscuit works, in case you haven't seen it, is you basically just put your arrow in. Those boots help keep your arrow from making any kind of clinking noise. Like if it was hitting raw aluminum, it'd make that, but you can just drop it in, no noise whatsoever. And you do want to cock fletch up with the Whisker Biscuit, just so you can kind of avoid those black bristles right there. So you just cock fletch up, and then you shoot, and your fletchings would go right through the bristles themselves. No moving parts, no problem, nothing to fall out of the way. It just sits there and does its job once it's tuned. Now, the most frequently asked question we get about that is how much speed loss does that cost you? And honestly, Trophy Ridge especially, they've tested it to death, and their number is on average usually 1 foot per second in pretty much any scenario with a properly fletched arrow. So I would agree with that. Like, we've tested it a lot too, and honestly, I mean, more often than not, there is no speed loss. The bows are so fast, it just blows through it. And I mean, if there is any speed loss, it's almost just, I mean, it's negligible. Like, it's just not even worth noting. To be generous, if you had a longer vane with like a steeper offset, you may see up to, maybe 2 or 3 feet per second speed loss, but honestly, I don't even really think you'd get that. Now, with longer vanes on Whisker Biscuits, you can get warpage in your vanes, so that's something I always warn people of. Like, if you have a longer vane, when they make contact in time over, a course of a few hundred shots, they can warp and stuff, but you can always just heat the vane up with a hairdryer or something, and that vane will straighten right back out. It's kind of cool. So yes, like I said, plenty of adjustment, all aluminum. it's high end, and it's worth the price tag if you're the type of shooter that needs this kind of thing. It's going to last you forever, and even if you're not going to bounce it from bow to bow, if you are going to bounce it from bow to bow, then by all means you need as much adjustment as you can to make your life easier. But even without doing that, if you just if you tweak things, if you just want something, if it did fall out of tune, you can get it back in tune easier, then this is definitely the rest for you. Because it actually has one more big feature that a lot of people overlook on it. You don't see this very often, but this actually has a micro adjust feature. Not a toolless adjust, but a micro adjust feature. It's absolutely awesome because it makes things so much better. On any other rest, like this one for instance, if you loosen up that nut to change your windage, you have to move it by hand, and if say you just need to go a little to the left, it's really easy to slip and pull it all the way over and lose your spot, and that kind of thing's aggravating. But honestly, this takes care of it. I love this part, so I always save this for last. But you loosen this just a little bit like that, and then you have this little screw on the side, and you put your Allen wrench in it. Say I need to go a little bit to the right. If I turn this, you can actually see the rest itself moving, just in small increments controlled by the Allen wrench itself. See? Which is awesome. So say I need to go to the left. Just twist it the other way. Counterclockwise. And we're going to the left. That's a big deal. If you're not going to be tuning or handling any of that on your own, then honestly it may not be something you need. But if you are, or if you just want the best of the best as far as what the Whisker Biscuit has to offer, Sure Shot Pro all the way, without a doubt. This is our production manager especially. This is his rest. You can't talk him out of it. He loves it. So that is the Sure Shot Pro Whisker Biscuit, and hopefully this helps comparing them side by side and whatnot. But I would certainly recommend checking this one out if you're in the market for a good, helpful, higher end rest.